few minutes inshallah, and we start the Ash-Shabrawiya. The Shabrawiya, you find it in the book. I think, mashallah, this is a good idea to have the book with the foot, with the part where you can add notes. So the book, the next book is going to be, go to page 54. So the page after that will be the book. So just ignore the first page, and then the second page talking about the given the bio of the Al-Allama Ash-Shabrawi, and then starting the first chapter, الباب الأول في الكلام وما يتألف منه. There's many shuruh. For instance, I will be using the sharh that been used, actually the sharh of Sheikh Walid al-Minisi, Hafidhahullah Ta'ala. And this book, actually, for those who want to have it, it is also publication of our university. الجزال العطية في شرح متن الشبراوية في علم النحو. I think, Ibrahim, do we have extra copies of this? So whoever who want to go in depth, I mean, we're going to go through this one, plus more comment, so you can put them in your notes here. In the notes, does it has... this one does not have notes. So you use your paper. You lose paper, inshallah. طيب. We had بعد بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. The sharh start with talking about the bio of a Nazim, as you have it in the first. And then we start with an introduction or a preface. And after the preface, I will try to summarize this part. And then we start, inshallah, the Nazm. And last week we were talking about the meaning of the Arab, the Arabic language, its importance, and the meaning of the Nahu, and how the Nahu was introduced, and by we told you the story of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anh and Abi al-Aswad al-Du'ali concerning the starting of putting the rules of the Nahu. The Nazim, the author of the poem, he lived, or he born 1091 Hijri, from the Hijri calendar, and passed away 1171. I think you have this. His name, Abdullah ibn Muhammad ibn Amr. Ibn Amr. الشبراوي القاهري الشافعي. نسبة إلى شبراوة. Then القاهري from القاهرة, Egypt. الشافعي المذهب. محدث فقيه أصولي شاعر. محدث, so he's a scholar of hadith, scholar of usul, and he's a poet. He has, mashallah, many books written. يقول الشبراوي في مقدمة منظومته قد سألني, he said, قد سألني من يعز علي أن أنظم له أبياتا تشتمل على قواعد فن العربية، فأجبته لما سأل طالبا من الله بلوغ الأمل، ورتبته على 5 أبواب. One dear to me, he asked me to put together a book in the art of the Arabic language, the art of the Arabic language, and this is what they call the grammar. I answered him by compiling a poem in which a poem to talk about this topic or subject, and I رتبته, I organized in 5 parts, and this is, we're going to come to it later inshallah ta'ala. This manduma that we're going to be studying in ilm al-nahu, it has 2 great characteristics. The first one, it's very concise, therefore it's easy to remember, it's easy to study, it's easy to review. Being concise, it has 51 verse, which is make it to be accessible, easy to review, to study, and it has, mashallah, comprehensive or the majority of the rules of the Nahu. Many of the scholars, they give great attention to this poem, and they wrote many of the explanation on it. منها شرح الشيخ يوسف الحفناوي والشيخ إسماعيل الجوهري and الشيخ عبد القادر الجليلي, etc. So these are the names of some of the scholars who study this poem, and they wrote an explanation for it. The part that the Sheikh he mentioned here, I mean, it is an introduction for every subject, which are يقول so here يقول وكل علم له مبادئ 10. Every science, it has 10 principles. This is for everyone. I mean, I might not, I will skip this part, because every science, which is الحد الموضوع الثمرة النسبة الفضل الواضع الاسم الاستمداد حكم تعلمه والمسائل. And in general, we're saying every science, when you study it, you said, what is this subject? What are the element or the aspect they deal with? Who the first one who started it? And what is the ruling to learn it? Okay? So for the nahu, if you apply, it is the قال هنا والنحو, النحو, if we're talking about the nahu. So al-haddu, the first thing, for the barakah, we'll read it, inshallah, we'll explain it. So the first principle to apply to the knowledge of the nahu, al-haddu. Al-haddu would mean what is the very comprehensive and restrictive, or like comprehensive with the exclusion of anything that is not from it, definition of nahu. Because they'll give me definition to define exactly what is this knowledge. So النحو في اللغة له 6 معاني. النحو في اللغة، النحو in the language it has six meaning. The main one are القصد, the intention, القصد نحو. قال نحوت نحوك. نحوت نحوك is like I head toward you. So نحى is قصد, heading to. The second meaning is المثل. المثل, the example. He said قولوا مررت برجل نحوك. I passed by a person نحوك, looks like you, resemble you. We can use the نحو for this. Toward, in the direction to. I want نحو البيت, in the direction of the home. مقدار, quantity. له علي نحو 1000. He owe me, or I owe him, or he owe me around, almost, around 1,000. So نحو, around. يقال على 4 أنحاء. This has been split on 4 أنحاء. So four parts. Also نحو has the meaning of part. And also a part, when you divide it, and a part جزء, a portion. يقول أكلت نحو السمكة. I ate a portion of the fish. So those are in the language. When it comes into the knowledge and the of grammar of نحو, قال ضبط أواخر الكلمات إعرابا وبناء بحسب موقعها من الجملة على نحو ما يتكلم به العرب. The نحو is how to master the state of the end of the words, the way that the Arab, they speak it, they utter it. رجل, رجلا, رجل. So it depends on the position of the word in the sentence, is going to change its state. The changing of the state of the words based on its position in the sentence, and studying the form of these changes, the look of these changes, is the نحو. Okay? إعرابا وبناء. إعرابا, so some of them they change, and some of them they stay steady, they don't change. Whatever position in the sentence, they don't change. Before علم الصرف, تصريف الأفعال, the conjugaison, what you say, is like the verbs, you apply it to the different pronoun, that's the sarf. It was part of the nahu, and then it's been removed to concentrate the nahu on the state of the end of the words. Because why the end of the word? Because the word does not change completely when you change its place from subject to be, adverb, to be a complement, etc. What it changed is the end of it. So, for example, in English, it does not have this one. I call the person. The person is there. The person, this is change. أنادي فلانا فلان هناك. The first sentence I said nan fulanan. The second sentence I said fulanun. It's the same word. What changed? The end of it. The changing of the end to know when to do it and how to do it, that called نحو. واضح? If you have any question, please ask. Because the نحو, to study it in English is challenging. It's good. It's good, alhamdulillah. It's good. So you need to do the effort, inshallah. It's easy, eh? It's easy. Inshallah, it's easy. When you read the Quran, for example, وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ رَجُلٌ. Did we say رَجُلًا? رَجُلٌ. You see, رَجُلٌ. Do we have in the Quran رَجُل in different place? لا تلهيهم رجال لا تلهيهم. We have the search, so it's nice. We'll put رجل and then we'll see as example. The same. طيب. قال فإن لم يكون, this is good example, فإن لم يكون رجلين فرجل وامرأتان ممن ترضون من الشهداء. قال واستشهدوا شهيدين من رجالكم. من رجالي. قالت رجالكم. فإن لم يكون رجلين فرجل وامرأتان. See, subhanallah, how we change. وإن كان رجل يورث كلالة. This is one. طيب. قال رجلان. The other one قال فإن لم يكون رجلين. Okay. يكون رجلين. قال رجلان. So it's the same, two men. But one we say ليني, the other one we said لاني. This is in the Quran. So we need the nahu to put, the rajulaini here. What is their context in this action? طيب. قال لو جعلناه ملكا لجعلناه رجلا. He didn't say لجعلناه رجل. صح؟ لجعلناه رجلا. أي هنا رجلا مفعول. جعلناه رجلا. لم يقل جعلناه رجل. نعم. For us to understand whether this is hard, we relocate back and go and see. Will Mohsen will make you right? Because I'm kind of glued here in front of the camera. No, I was thinking, maybe we'll check with Ibrahim, so I can put on, be on the side, and we have maybe the projector on the other side. So we'll be on side and the projector on the side, and then the camera will take, and then we'll have it maybe on one of the device, and we can write it and you'll see it, inshallah. We'll work on that. But we'll come because this is all introduction. So when we come to the study, we have to pass to the board, inshallah. But now the concept. قال ولو جعلناه ملكا لجعلناه رجلا وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل جعلناه رجلا. So we have two. رجل is the same. So what changed? The end. So رجل رجلا. So it's the end. So what concern in this knowledge of the nahu, how you change the end, because you didn't change the word, you change the end. So there is amil. Al-amilu is that effect who going to produce the action. And this effect who produce the action give you a state, and this state will define for you that name, that person, that action, who's doing it. We give the example of ibtala Ibrahim rabbuhu. Someone being tested. We have two names, Ibrahim and his Lord. We believe in Allah. Who tests? Allah tests Ibrahim. Someone wicked person, which they do, they say, look, here the servant, his messenger is testing him. That's what the atheists, they do, right? He tested his God. طيب, for the point of view nahu, how you can be certain that the meaning the Lord tested his servant Ibrahim? Because we have ibtala Ibrahim and Rabbu. So we have Ibrahim. So if you see the structure of the sentence, the one with no knowledge, he will flip the meaning. He said, Ibrahim, I have the verb, I have Ibrahim first, he must be the subject, and then the action is done on the third one that is mentioned, the second name. But when you hear the ayah, قال وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه. So the dhamma that we have on the ba will instruct you that this is the subject. This is the fa'il. So Ibrahim, even though is mentioned the first, when I have Ibrahim, I know that he's al-maf'ul. He's the one that is being tested. And the verb ibtala, test. So I have tested Ibrahim by his Lord. That how, word by word. How did we know that? By the nahu. But he still make a dhamma. If you make a dhamma, he altered and changed the Quran. He didn't change, just he said, put instead of ma, mu, and instead of bu, he put ba. He changed the Quran. Actually, he void his Islam, if he believe in that. He's doing that purposely. So this is the meaning of an-nahu. Well, just as a concept now, not study. قال الصرف, the difference between النحو والصرف. الصرف يتناول بنية الكلمة مفردة. الصرف, he will study the structure of the word independent of its position in the sentence. Why? Because the sarf is going to deal as the verbs, and the verbs change, based on the time you apply to the verb. So regardless, the sentence is going to change. For example, sama, the verb sama, fast. When I say sama, yasumu, sum, sama, verb sama in the past. Yasumu, verb sama in the present or mustaqbal, future. Sum is an order to fast, regardless of the position of it into the sentence. So that's the sarf. Take single verbs and study them based on you apply the time and you associate the pronoun to it. It might be plural, singular, the speaking person, pronoun, singular, absent, female, singular, absent, male, etc. الضمير الغائب المؤنث، الضمير المفرد، الغائب المذكر إلى آخره. The الموضوع, what is the topic, what is the subject of النحو? So what is the field of the نحو? Is the Arabic language. So the field of the Nahu is the Arabic language. So the rules what we're going to study can only apply, of course, to the Arabic language. Third, al-ghayatu wa-thamratu, purpose and benefit. Which is the benefit that will be, gained by the one who studied the Nahu. Which is, of course, to correct his tongue and to know how to communicate his thoughts, his expression, the thing that he wants to express to someone who's listening and comprehending in the language of the Arabic. So in this case, everyone, or at least will have those who have to understand by obligation in the Ummah the Arabic language to convey the message of Allah to the people. If in the Ummah there's no one who will understand the Arabic language, then the whole Ummah betrayed the message of Islam. Right or no? Again, I remind you, this is, I think I have said it many times before and might have said it last time. Someone will ask, why the Arabic language? You remember last week we talked about the vehicle that carry the meaning. The more valuable what you're going to carry, the more secure and capable to carry it need to the vessel in which you're going to carry it. For the words of Allah and the meaning that Allah wants to convey to His servant, Allah chose the Arabic language, which means the Arabic language is the one that is convenient to fulfill this message, to carry the message of Allah to His servant. And in the Arabic language, it has this characteristic to have, a lot of meaning, and as a matter of fact, it has more letters than the Latin language. Then it has more terms, and it has depth and profound, and it has eloquency to be capable to express Allah's words and Allah's message to His servant. Someone say, is by choosing the Arabic language, are the non-Arabic speaker are excluded? The answer, of course not, because all the language belongs to the one race of humankind. Arabic, English, Latin, Spanish, name it. So when we talk about one humankind have all this language, the Creator chose one language from them, the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can convey His mercy with. Which is mean, if it was sent in different language, then Allah's mercy will not be conveyed to His servant. I always have given this example. If you have a gallon of milk and you have 3 containers, a glass, a bottle of a liter, and let's say another container that can contain a gallon, which one will you use? If you use the glass, all the rest of the milk will spill over, right? You cannot use it. So by necessity, you have to use the container who can contain the whole milk, right? So the example of this container is the example of the language used by humankind. The most merciful, He will put it in a container that will not be enough for His rahmah, or put it in the container which can carry the whole rahmah. Which one? So قال إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون, that you may comprehend. Said, Ya Allah, I don't understand Arabic. He said, Allah, I know. But that's the way for Allah's rahmah to come to you. And you to learn the Arabic is not an obstacle. You to learn and trust someone who already knows an Arabic, that is how you help each other to share the knowledge. What is the most spoken language today? Huh? I mean, English. I mean, Chinese, for mainly the Chinese people. I think. I mean, most people, they study English. For what purpose? Mainly for business purposes. صح ولا لا? So I said, Subhanallah, you study English to speak the language of the business and to make trades and transactions, and you don't study Arabic to gain the rahmah of your Lord. Right? So one person said, why this book in English, in Arabic? He said, how many languages you speak? Everyone, if you visit the world, they have to, study English, right? Or a second language. Why? Especially when it comes to transaction in the field of the business. So I said, people, they study other language to communicate so they can conclude their affairs, their businesses. And here, don't you want to study the language who will conclude the great transaction, which is the transaction of your life with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Again, it's not an obligation to study, to learn the Arabic, but subhanallah, to be conveyed the message. It must exist in the ummah those who can have this message to be conveyed. Being a student of knowledge, who learning the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reading it in Arabic, make that next step to understand it from its roots by studying its principle and rules. That one of the greats, insha'Allah, ni'am. So bear patience, inshallah. Be perseverant, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala certainly will make it easy for us. One of the great one of the great nuhat, they're not originally Arabic. Sibawayh, he's not an Arab. Look at the books of Imam al-Ghazali. He's born in Khurasan, Tus. His mother tongue is Persian. Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, he born in Kabul, in Afghanistan. So his father, he was not an Arab. Al-Imam Muslim, the same. Al-Nasa'i, the same. Al-Bukhari, the same. Look at their books. The language is not an obstacle. The language is a great horizon for someone to open his horizon of knowledge. As I give the example, people they study language for dunya. The believer will not study language for his akhirah. Al-istimdad, the references that someone will have to learn the language. علم النحو extracted from the Quran and from the ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and from the repertoire of the Arabs in their poems and ash'ar and literature, etc. So Nahu is kind of a tool that kind of a balance. It balances one's speech when he's talking and communicate. يقول العلامة ابن خلدون, when he talking about the benefit and the importance of the Nahu, إذ به يتبين أصول المقاصد بالدلالة فيعرف الفاعل من المفعول والمبتدأ من الخبر, with which the Nahu help you to understand the intent of the sentences. You'll be reading to understand what is in the book. So you know who is the subject and what is the complement, to see what is the mubtada with the one that is the topic, or what is revolving around this incident, and what is the khabar, what is the news that is like, what are you telling me to so I can understand it. So it's like the communication. So the word of the communication, if there's a communication, I need to understand the intent of this communication. And the intent of the communication only would be possible if I understand the position of every word in the sentence. Who the one, the giver, and who the one who's the receiver. If you mix the receiver by the giver, then you subhanallah, someone he being confused in the communication. طيب. قال, this is we mentioned, but it's nice to read the origin of the Nahu again and reported from one of the scholar. He's أبو البركات الأنباري. أبو بركات قال: أول من ابتدأ التدوين والتصنيع في العلم ووضع أساسه وأرسى قواعده ويشمل تطور التأليف في العلم ومراحله. The first one who start to talk about the Nahu and put it into writing and books. قال أبو البركات, أبو بركات الأنباري, who died in 577. He said the first one who started or who founded the ilm, the knowledge of the Arabic. So the Arabic, it was is a language spoken, but to turn into knowledge and science, which it has a principle and it has definition, etc., and rules, and founded its principle is Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. هو علي ibn Abi Talib رضي الله تعالى عنه. وأخذ عنه أبو أسود ابن عمرو ابن سفيان الدؤلي, and who learned from him أبو الأسود الدؤلي. And we mentioned last week the incident of Abi Aswad al-Du'ali with his daughter, when she said the sentence and he was answering her a different answer. Why? Because she said, ما أشد, قالت ما أشد الحر, instead of said ما أشد. قال دخلت أبو الأسود, he said دخلت على أمير المؤمنين, I entered visiting أمير المؤمنين, the prince of the believer Ali ibn Abi Talib رضي الله تعالى عنه. قال فوجدت في يده رقعة فقلت ما هذه يا أمير المؤمنين؟ فقال إني تأملت كلام الناس فوجدته قد فسد بمخالطة هذه الحمراء, يعني الأعج. He said he has something in his hand. He told him, what's this? Yeah. Amir al-Mu'minin said, I was pondering and reflecting that people, their language is being now getting altered, is kind of being is spoiling in a way, is getting corrupted because of the A'ajim, because of the language of the non-Arab getting coming to Islam, but their influence of the language are leading to corrupting and spoiling the origin and the pure Arabic language. And the concern of that is to protect the Quran, of course. قال فوجدته قد فسد بمخالطة هذه الحمراء فأردت أن أضع لهم شيئا يرجعون إليه. Then I was thinking to put together something that they refer to. So when you tie, an important thing with principle, with like axioms, equations, so you go back at that reference to correct, to be sure that what you're doing is in compliance and concordance of the origins. قال ويعتمدون عليه ثم ألقى إلي الرقعة. Then he threw to him this piece of cloth, or what piece, they used to write on dry, leaves, or flat bones, or on, skin, leather skin, etc. قال وفيها مكتوب الكلام كله اسم وفعل وحرف فالاسم ما أنبأ عن المسمى والفعل ما أنبئ به والحرف ما جاء لمعنى وقال لي انحو هذا النحو. So he wrote already the introduction النحو. He said the words or speech in the language are name, verb, and harf, a letter. And then he gave the definition of the ism and the verb. And he said to Abil Asad, he said, continue in this perspective to put the structure of the grammar. So the first who started is Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, inspiring Abu al-Aswad to finish and put it together. قال واعلم يا أبا الأسود أن الأسماء ثلاثة ظاهر ومضمر واسم لا ظاهر ولا مضمر وإنما يتفاضل الناس يا أبا الأسود فيما ليس بظاهر ولا مضمر وأراد بذلك الاسم المبهم. So this is inshallah we'll come to study it inshallah. قال أبو الأسود فكان ما وقع إلي إن وأخواتها ما خلا لكن فلما عرضتها على علي رضي الله عنه قال لي وأين لكن. So then they start to put together inna and the sisters of inna, and inna it has an effect on the mubtada and the khabar. We'll study this. So he gathered, and Ali, when he want to check it back with Ali, he said, where is lakinna? Lakinna is also from inna wa akhawatiha. So added. فقال ما حسبتها منها. I didn't even occur to me to be one of it. فقال هي منها فألحقها is one of them, added to inna and its sisters. ثم قال ما أحسن هذا النحو الذي نحوت فذلك, he said, what a great this structure you've been doing, or you opted to do. You opted to do. So opting to do is nahawta, and from this called nahu. So this is what Ali radiallahu ta'ala anh said to Abil Aswad ad-Du'ali, and from that it called nahu. قال also Ali radiallahu ta'ala, he heard someone say قال لا يأكله إلا قالوا طعام الرسلين لا يأكله إلا خاطئون. So he heard someone saying لا يأكله إلا الخاطئين. He says hold on. قال ويروى أيضا أن أبا الأسود الدؤلي ابنته قالت ما أحسن السماء. التعجب ينصب يقول ما أحسن السماء. How beautiful is the sky. أحسن. If you say أحسن, he said what is the sky that is most beautiful. Different. طيب. We'll stop here inshallah, and so we're gonna take the break now. I'll have to give you a break. This is your right. طيب, let me finish, please, just 1 minute. الحكم, what is the ruling of نحو, ويقصد به الحكم الشرعي لتعلم هذا العلم من بين الأحكام التكليفية الخمسة. تعلمه فرض كفاية. is learning the نحو is a collective obligation. That's what I have said. It must exist in the ummah, those who know this knowledge, so they can help the ummah understand Allah's words and the Prophet ﷺ hadiths. قال وكيع, this is nice. قال أتيت الأعمش وكيع أسمع منه الحديث. I came to Al-A'mash, learning from him the hadith. وكنت ربما لحنت. Sometimes when I read, I'll make mistakes, in نحو, in language. لحنت is like I have crooked tongue sometimes. فقال لي يا أبا سفيان تركت ما هو أولى بك من الحديث. You left what is more important than the hadith, and you come to learn from me. فقلت يا أبا محمد وأي شيء أولى من الحديث. What is more important than the hadith? He told him النحو, the grammar, who help you to master the language of the hadith. فأملى علي الأعمش النحو. Then he taught him the نحو. Then he resumed teaching him the hadith. هذا وكيع وما أدراك ما وكيع. وسمع أبو عمرو أبا حنيفة يتكلم في الفقه ويلحن، فأعجبه كلامه واستقبح لحنه، فقال إنه لخطاب لو ساعده صواب. Abu Amr, he was listening to Abu Hanifa. Abu Amr is Imam al-Qira'ah. He really loved his words, but he has kind of lahn, you know. He said he's a great speaker if his tongue will help him. ثم قال لأبي حنيفة إنك لأحوج إلى إصلاح لسانك من جميع الناس. He said you are in need to correct your tongue more than anybody else because everybody is listening to you. وقال شعبة من طلب الحديث فلم يبصر العربية فمثله مثل رجل عليه برنس وليس له رأس. He said whoever who studied the hadith and not caring about the language Arabic is like someone who is wearing the burnus, you know that people that think that in wool that they put on the shoulder, you know, and he does not have a head, so you have a body covered but not head. And وقال حماد بن سلمة مثل الذي يطلب الحديث ولا يعرف النحو مثل الحمار عليه مخلات لا شعير فيه. It's like the himar who carrying مخلات where they put the wheat in it and is empty. What are the masail? The masail or the matters is to study all that what we have talked in, about how to correct the words. النسبة أي صلة العلم وعلاقته بغيره من العلوم. What is the relation of the knowledge of the نحو with the rest of the knowledge? قال هو علم من علوم اللغة العربية ونسبته لبقية العلوم التباين والتخالف فليس متداخلا مع بقية العلوم. So he's like distant and independent from the other knowledge, but it is required for the language itself, and anything that using the language hadith, Quran, then the nahu come as a condition to those knowledge. We'll stop here, so next time we'll be able, inshallah, to start bi'idhnillahi ta'ala the matan, the nazm itself. Okay? And I will see you at 8. Huh? Inshallah. Huh? Long? It's not a long day.